sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it all. Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it all. Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this, our pre-Christmas show. And it's going to be jam-packed, the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming. And so, good Saturday morning to all you folks. And that means this is the fourth Saturday, which means Bill Cooksey is here. Good morning, Bill.
Morning, Larry. Morning, everybody.
Thank you for taking time to be here. And, of course, Ron Wong is out of the duck blind and back with us, all dressed up and everything, ready to go to some Christmas party someplace. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, let's jump right into this. We got a guest on the line that everybody wants to talk to. Now, I bet he wished there was four of him right now because there's a lot of things going on. Chronic wasting disease. You ever heard of that, Chuck Yoest?
I have, and to your comment, I need more than four of them.
Oh, right more now. Than four, huh? So, well, we appreciate you taking us to talk to us. Chuck is of course, he's the TWRA. He's the CWD Response Plan Coordinator. He is the man that talks. And late last weekend, the news came out that we had discovered 10 deer in West Tennessee, 7 in Fayette, 3 in Hardeman, if I'm not correct, and with preliminary testing of chronic wasting disease. That's now been confirmed that those 10 do have chronic wasting disease. And so on Thursday, the Tennessee Game and Fish Commission had a quickly called meeting in Nashville at TWRA headquarters. Chuck was there. Fill us in, Chuck, on what happened at that commission meeting.
Yes, so it started out by me asking the deer program leader, James Kelly,
yes,
to describe what we know about chronic wasting disease in Tennessee, and you've pretty much described that. The only thing I'd add is that there's 3 additional preliminary positive samples from those counties. So,
okay.
So basically, the commission and the agency is having to change from chronic wasting disease prevention to now chronic wasting disease management. And thankfully, we have a plan for that, and we're partnering with the Department of Ag, USDA, the Wildlife Federation, and hunters to implement that plan.
And that plan has been in the works. And Chuck, I was amazed. I read the plan, 66 pages of the plan. That's more than some books I've read, So you guys had the plan. So the plan right now.
Yeah, we had it.
Yeah, so the plan, the only thing changed with the plan is that we've got confirmed documentation that CWD is here, right?
Right. Well, whenever we learned about those first preliminary tests,
yes.
Excuse me, that's a hard one to say.
That's right.
Those initial tests that were suspected positive for chronic wasting disease, we went ahead and activated our plan, and that plan focuses on first informing stakeholders, and then determining the prevalence and spatial distribution of the disease, and keeping the disease from spreading, and then educational outreach and partnering with hunters, landowners, and other stakeholders in that area.
And for the layman out there is wondering what is CWD in layman terms, tell our listeners.
Yeah, chronic wasting disease is a disease that affects deer and elk, and it results in holes in the brain, so it's always fatal. It's highly contagious, and it persists in the environment, so it's passed through animal-to-animal contact, and then also the animals can be infected from the infected environments.
And this, as I told some of my colleagues here, we've been talking about this since 2002. Some of my listeners probably weren't born in 2002, right. So this is a plan that you guys have been working on. It's in 25 states now. It's in Kentucky, it's in Arkansas, it's in Missouri, it's in Virginia, and Mississippi. Not Kentucky, but
it'll be there.
It'll be there. So the plan right now is everybody's going stir crazy. They're going nuts. Information is floating out there, and you guys are trying, as well as I understand it, to not let the information get out of hand, that you guys are coordinating everything as far as what comes out of the TWRA office, right?
Yeah, messaging is a very important component of this. We and our partners have got to be speaking with the same voice.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that we get out, the appropriate information very quickly. And on that note, I've got some significant regulation changes that I need to describe for you that are a result of the commission meeting. Do you want me to share those now?
I sure do, yeah.
So the first action that the commission took was to establish a CWD management zone.
Okay.
And it currently includes Fayette, Hardeman, and McNairy counties.
McNairy, okay.
And we know it's obvious why it includes Fayette and Hardeman, but the reason it includes McNairy is because there was a CWD positive deer that was fairly close to the eastern edge of Hardeman, which put it really close to McNairy County.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, within this zone of 3 counties, the commission created a carcass or a deer carcass exportation restriction.
Okay.
So when hunters harvest deer there for the remainder of deer season, they're going to have to debone it, et cetera, just like they would if they were bringing one from out of state into Tennessee. So that's a pretty significant change. They've also placed a restriction on feeding of wildlife within that zone.
Okay.
And now there are some exceptions that apply for agricultural purposes and other things. So there's a little caveat there. But some more changes is that there's the creation of a new deer hunting season there. It'll be an archery, muzzleloader, and gun season from January 7th through the 31st. That will include a bag limit of 1 antler deer and unlimited antlerless deer.
Really?
And
okay.
that season will also apply to wildlife management area in public lands where deer hunting is already permitted within those 3 counties.
So our regular deer season ends on the 6th, and then you have the normal antlerless season for a week till the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. So now we're going to start on the 7th and go through the 31st with go for it, it sounds like.
In those 3 counties.
In those 3 counties, okay.
And there's another significant thing. And
that's pretty significant. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Imagine, just wait. There's more. On or after December 29th, all hunters harvesting deer on the weekends, and that's Saturday and Sunday, are required to check the deer in at a physical check station, and the agency will publish the locations of those check stations on its website.
Wow. Now, this processors become part of this plan. So what does this do to our local processors?
Well, they're going to, some of the things that they need to be more cognizant of than ever is following the practices that protect them from diseases in general.
Okay.
Using the right protective equipment and disinfecting their facilities and their equipment appropriately. And those are all things that they probably already do those things, but it just adds to the importance of those safety precautions.
Will we lose some processors, you think, in this new system?
I'm not. It's hard to say. I believe that that there could be some temporary hardships as a result of this, but also see where there could be some opportunities.
Yes.
Within those counties, because there's going to be that requirement now that hunters have them fully processed before they leave those counties.
Wow, this is something. How long have you been with the agency, Chuck?
15 years.
Yeah. So you saw this day coming? I mean, most people didn't. You?
It's been coming.
It's been coming, don't you think, Chuck? It was just a matter of time.
Well, I'm proud to say that we did everything we could do to prevent it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now that it's here, I'm just proud of how the agency has responded
quickly,
and just glad that we were that we had prepared like we had.
And I'm assuming this will be posted. It's going to be posted on the website tnwildlife.org. All this will be there. Press releases will be coming out and things along this line, because you got to act quickly on this, because there's a lot of folks going to be hunting this weekend, including me. So in the other part of the season, what do you got?
I have a question for those folks who are going to be hunting. People like me who have never hunted deer out of state.
Yeah,
I've never had to worry about deboning a deer, and now how to do it is an easy deal. That's fair enough. What do we do with the bones? I mean, how do you deal with this in the field if you're having to debone it before you can take it elsewhere?
What about that, Chuck?
Well, the recommendations for disposal in those areas is either they're buried, they're landfilled, and if neither one of those are a possibility, that the carcass parts just remain in the area or at the area of where the deer was harvested.
Because the prions are already there. So.
Yeah, they're already there.
Makes sense.
And we've got information on our website.
Lots of information.
Good.
Yeah, there's information there, and like informational videos that will, can educate hunters on how to process their deer correctly.
Well, I mean, folks, there's just so much information, and you got to go to tnwildlife.org. There's links in there, tells you all these different things, and everybody I've talked to, Chuck, commend the agency for having a plan. I mean, I don't know what Mississippi did. I don't know any of those, but I know our TWRA has had that plan, and all we've had to do. You've been taking samples. I saw something over 12,000 samples just going into this year. So
that's right.
You guys are on it. Your men in the field are on it, and I can't thank you enough, buddy, for taking time to help us answer a lot of questions, stepping out of it and everything. And I'm sure we'll stay in touch. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Chuck, okay?
Yeah, thanks to you as well. Merry Christmas. And, hey, one thing before I leave, we got a couple new websites, www.cwdintennessee.com or www.cwdntn.com.
Well, you've already done that. That's great. We're in the age of instant news here, breaking news. So we have these things. Again, Chuck, we'll stay in touch, and y'all keep that information coming my way, and I'll pass it on to all these folks out in West Tennessee, okay?
All right. Thank you. Catch you later.
Thank you, Chuck. All right, let's take a break. Well, that's information for you.
Yes, sir.
Let's come right back and get on a more festive note, if we can, on Outdoors with Larry Ray on this pre-Christmas show. Ron Wong's in building, Bill Cooksey in building, Shelby McCall taking all of our information for us. We'll be right back.